doing it. One, often it's not real. Two, the focus practice will help you remain in the present so that you can be with those thoughts. Three, maybe a little bit of self-compassion that you're not supposed to figure it all out right now. Maybe there is also an unreasonable, I say maybe because this is usually what we do, including what I do to myself. Maybe we have goals, but we have an unreasonable expectation of what the process looks like or what our growth should look like. It doesn't look linear and always good. It changes. It's weathering, and it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed, that's why having people and bumper rails, rather, I call them bumper rails. My practices, like my yoga, my meditation, my swimming, my going on morning walks, my talking to my mom, my reading books about mental health or listening to good music, these are my bumper rails. These are habits that I strategically put into place to protect my well-being. You will not be able to protect your well-being out in the real world if you don't armor up, guys, especially in this day and age with so much heavy focus on our appearance and doing well and measuring our success and value based off of monetary, all of this. We're surrounded by it. So the only way is to adapt by finding certain practices that will help support you. And a support group, mindfulness, and being able to breathe through those experiences, but introduce some joy into your life. Maybe if the limiting belief is that you can't do it, maybe surround yourself with people who believe that you can. Ask them why. Or does anyone know Miss Amis here? Raise your hand if you know her personally. Have you guys all met yet? Yeah.
Not yet.
Jerry's, you know Miss Amis?
No, ma'am.
Oh no, you don't. Does anyone, you guys haven't met each other yet?
Not everyone yet.
Oh, not yet, not yet. Okay. So what I recommend is, Miss Amis, anyone here really, if you have those moments of insecurity, sometimes there's a voice saying it's not good enough. Sometimes you need to introduce a new voice, a different voice. Sometimes the best way to do that is through borrowed eyes, because if you can't trust your own opinion about yourself, maybe someone that you trust, a friend, a loved one, someone of your friends, maybe your parent. And based off of the limiting belief of I'm not good enough, there's a skill called putting your thoughts on trial, which means every single time you have that thought, actually, I'm going to invite all of you to do it. Every single time you have the thought that is telling you you're not good enough, I want you to journal, write it down. Why is the thought telling you that you're not good enough? And based on results, why is that thought wrong? So for example, me, I have thought that I'm not good enough, or I don't add value to people, or that I am unworthy of people's appreciation, or that I feel like I have to prove myself or gain people's approval to be worthy. But based on results, that is untrue because, and then I want you to write down, journal, how do you add value to the people around you? How do you really add value to the people around you? How do you add value to your mom? How do you add value to your friends? How do you add value? What are the good things about you? What are, based on results and what people say about you, what are these facts about how you are and what you do? We have to start building who we are and defining it, because what happens when your brain keeps telling you this is who you are, but it's not true? The practice is not about not experiencing that. It's about how we respond to it, and more about learning how to surf those waves, but never doing it alone either. So guys, please make sure you contact me. I don't want you to, anyone in this room, to think that you're stuck or there's, oh, I don't know what to do. No, we have the resources, we have the community, and there's a lot to learn, guys. Does anyone have any other questions? Miss Amis, thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, and you've got a community, babe. Does anyone else want to ask anything or share anything before we wrap up? Yes, Cherries.
This is not a question, ma'am, but I'm just so grateful with this talk because I've been so stressed lately, and I've known some friends who are also very stressed, also experience the same. And I'm grateful with the stop intervention, with the exchange expectation, with appreciation, with it's okay to get vulnerable. I'm so grateful with all of those. And I will definitely share this to my friends. Thank you so much.
Please do, please do, please do. Thank you so much. Again, guys, the only reason why I'm sharing this is this is what saved. I'd be dead in a ditch somewhere if I didn't have these practices or this kind of sharing. So thank you so much. Trish, did you have a question? Your hand is raised.
Yes, I do have a question.
Yes.
My question is, what is the best advice you can give to a person who lost his or her loved ones? Because personally, I lost my father, and the pain won't go away. And there are times that I would really feel anxious, I would really feel scared, I would really feel that I am not enough and I am incomplete. And I think that I really need an advice about that. And I know other persons also experience what I have experienced. Like there are families that are complete, and when you see it, others might cry, others might have doubts, and others may feel like they are nothing in this world. That's why I would like to ask, what is the best advice, even just in one sentence, that could uplift the other person?
I'll give it to you in one word. Appreciation. Gratitude and appreciation. Even in, I can not make any sense of pain apart from there's a purpose to it. Even, for example, when I can't make sense of why, pardon my French, why shit happens. Because sometimes it's really not fair. You see the way things happen and you just don't understand, how is this okay? People dying, children dying. I can't make sense of that. But I do see that there is always a purpose to pain. People who I know have lost their children, and that's the worst pain for a parent, to bury their child, or who have lost friends who jumped off of bridges. I have seen, because of that pain, have used that pain for great purpose to help other people. I actually spoke to a guy one time when he saw this guy about to walk off a bridge, and he stopped him and he said, "Hey man, just talk to me. I can't assume I know what you feel like, but my friend just killed himself. And so I feel like my friend just needed someone to talk to. So you talk to me, I can be a stranger." And he saved his life. I cannot make sense of the pain, but there is great purpose to it if you choose. When it comes to losing a parent, I mean, the hard reality is, guys, it's a brutal world out there. Nobody makes it alive. Everything changes, everything ends, things don't go to plan, it happens. But our life, the quality of our life is really about the quality of emotions that we feel, right? It's the emotions that we feel. If we always feel sad, we think we have a sad life. But our emotions are not about circumstances. Our emotions are actually about the meaning we give circumstances. So I lost my job, so this means I'm worthy. So this means I'm not good enough. So this means they're better. Or I lost my job, so this means that I have an opportunity to learn and push myself. I lost my job, so this means I am now working towards other people. Or this person said this, so that criticism, so that I can learn to be more resilient. Or I have a chronic depression or these experiences like anxiety, so that I can learn more surrender and so that I can be more strong. It depends on the perspective. And if you look and zoom out on the hardest things that have ever happened to you, my loves, can you agree that some of the hardest things that have happened to you actually happened for you? That the strength that we would have gained in those moments of pain are what allows us to be who we are. So you can never release pain. You can never erase it, and you don't want to. It is evidence that we are alive. To lose means that you have. And so simply appreciating wherever you are in the process for what it could be, and all that it needs to be what it could be is you. You just have to decide that it could be, that this is what you choose to practice. You're not always going to think it or feel it or believe it, but I'm going to show up to practice anyway. Oh, I messed up today. I feel like shit today. I'm going to show up to practice anyway. It's not going to look the right. It doesn't mean it's going to go away. I'm going to show up to practice anyway. The more that we show up to practice, the more that we build the belief that this is something that we are not going to allow to defeat us, but this is something we will use to create us. So I believe that giving a higher meaning to your circumstances is one of the most important things, because then it takes you out of the victim mindset to a victor mindset. Does that kind of answer a little bit of your question? Yeah, thank you so much. There's so much that we have to discuss. I'm actually really excited that you're asking questions as well, and that you'll meet our other practitioners, because these are just things that it's not common knowledge. It's not common knowledge, but we're very blessed with the research that's going on right now, that this is something that we can start building and sharing. Does anyone else have any other question? I see a few raised hands here. If you just unmute yourself and you can ask away.
We'll give way to one last question, and then we'll wrap up this session. Thank you so much, Ellen.
Sorry about that, guys.
No, it's okay. Yes, I'm so sorry. But yes, please do join the bi-monthly sessions. They're very enlightening as well. Who's the last one that we can call for question? Okay, from Filipino community of Dubai. Thank you. Go ahead.
And whoever was not called, send me your question to my details, and I will answer you on my own time.
Hi, Miss Elle. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. And I would like to acknowledge you and honor you for selflessly sharing those messages to us. It is really uplifting. And my question is that it's more on a clarity. I just want to gain a clarity on how we can break the stigma that whenever we people show our like madness or anger or our highest emotion to other people, they would think that it is our true color. I mean, I just want to clarify what is a true color is. What is true color is.
Your true color. Okay. I believe that, I mean, everyone can have different definitions. I believe your true colors is your authenticity. And authenticity, there's only one like you. There is no one else in the whole world like you, with your mind, with your experience, including the pain. What does David Goggins say? Pardon my French again. He says, like, God bless you with your shit. Like, there is no one that will have even gone through what you went through. And so your mind, your experience, your challenges will bring out the true self. It will shape the true self. The true self, the true colors are what you will begin to discover the more you are able to wean out the stuff that's not you. And clarity will only come from when you can peel those layers. Because right now, if we cannot differentiate our voice from the other voices in our head, if we cannot learn how to detach from them, how can we listen? And so building the practice of mindfulness, because it literally changes your brain. And it's like, if you are injured and you've never run before, and someone asks you to, run a marathon, what do? You start building the exercises to build that muscle. It's the same way with breathing and controlling your focus. The more you do this over time, and I mean, like, it's a lifelong practice, you will notice that the more you can detach from all things and like just not and be present, the more you will learn, what do I actually want? You can ask yourself, is this something that I truly want? Is this for me, or am I doing it because of someone else or because of that person? You will be able to have more compassion on yourself. You'll also be able to have compassion on other people. That's why this mindfulness practice allows us to understand ourselves without judgment, but it also allows us to understand people without judgment. So the next time someone does something that pisses you off or that hurts you, you can acknowledge that that's not them. They needed to do that in that moment because they're going through what they're going through. And the more that I can hold space for them, and meet them where they're at and have empathy. Like, I know it feels bad, or I understand, I don't judge you. You know, I know how we get. The more you give people permission without judgment to even make mistakes, the more you can give yourself permission to do that. Then that's the authentic you. Make mistakes and be okay with it. Then that's authenticity. That's how you know you can be authentic, is that when you screw up or when you fail, you can be okay with it. Not because you like failing, but because you know that the failure has something to teach you, which will contribute to the process of you getting it right the next time. But the only way this is going to happen and have clarity of yourself, if we start giving ourselves time, which is the hardest thing if you don't believe you're worthy, because why give yourself time? Which is why we got to keep each other accountable. We want to do any of the things that we want in life or touch the people we want to in life. We cannot do it with an empty cup. And so please schedule some time for yourselves. Join us. If you don't know how, we will help. Whatever you need to get you started. Whatever the training goals are, we can get you started. It's simple. It's actually quite simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. And once you get a hang of things, I'm so excited to see what the Philippines will look like.
Thank you so much, Elle, and thank you so much, ladies. Ladies, a big round of applause. Please turn on your microphones, and I'll give you 5 seconds to just affirm Elle for this wonderful evening. Ooh, let's cheer. Let's cheer her on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Elle.
Thank you so much, Miss
So many
Elle.
powerful shares. Thank you.
All right. Thank you as well to those who joined us online. And please continue to follow the journey of our delegates for Miss Philippines Earth 2022. Good evening.
Bye, guys.